schools. Why the school administration are not doing something? Do you know anything about that?
Okay, for me, like I think most of the school, like the school like staff are usually whites. I don't know if they went through the same thing as Somalians we went through. I don't think they did. Like I'm sure their family, maybe like their great grandparents or somebody, like went through the same thing we're going through right now, not being accepted. But I just think that they don't understand exactly what the conflict is, like what the problem is. So since they're not getting that, they just think that by suspending everybody, it's just making everything kind of go away, and they're not gonna deal with it. If they, like I remember when I got in a fight at school, they'll suspend me, they'll suspend the white kid, and suspend everybody, and then we'll go home, and then we'll come back the next week, and everything's still the same, and nothing changed. Just because I went home for a week doesn't make a difference. What happens, you know what I mean? So so I just feel like they think the way they handle every other conflict, that's how they're handling this problem. But this problem is not just any other conflict. When somebody's being racist, somebody's oppressing somebody, that's a whole different thing. And we need a new whole way. Yeah, you need to teach people. You need to have more programs like to bring the kids together and talk about this and make it easier for people educate people that don't understand. That's what I think.
She said everything. I think the thing with me, because I, unlike her, graduated like 5 years ago, so my situation is a lot different than hers, because mine, when I went to high school, it was when everything was new. Everything, like the whole problem, everything was new. So with my situation, is the way they dealt with it was like by ignoring it and avoiding it. And if you ignore a problem, it's not going to go away. I wish that was the case, because then you just ignore something, goes away. But then the only thing it did, the more they ignored, the more frustration we as Somali kids felt. And the more frustrated we got, the more we felt like we had nothing to lose. So that's why at the end of the year in '04, we had this huge fight where, between the Somali and the white kids, because all of us felt like, okay, really, we have nothing to lose. I go to the office, they don't do anything about it. I tell the principal, he tells me I'm wrong. So what else do I have to lose? I'm always out of class anyways. So to the point where everybody was fed up with everybody, and everybody was frustrated with the situation, to the point where it escalated into a fight, and which I feel like the school, if they did something about it, it wouldn't have been that bad. If they intervened, or if they addressed the problem ahead of time, things would have been different.
They should I'm not disagreeing with people having their own opinion. It's okay to have your opinion, but it's better to have the facts right. Yeah, don't just assume or follow every stereotype you see on TV. It's not true. You know what I mean? I don't know if all of them are true or not, but I know most of them are not true. So I think it's okay to let them express their opinion, so we can know how people feel. If you don't know how people feel, how can you really deal with it? That's my opinion from my side.
The thing about it is not like they have an opinion or if them expressing their opinion is the way they go about it. They go with under fake names. If you have an opinion, come to my face and say it. Don't go behind your computer and type it and do that. If you really believe your opinion, how about come and have a constructive debate with me, instead of sitting there and just generalizing everything. And the one thing I've noticed with St.Cloud a lot of the time is, if one Somali person does something, every Somali person did it. If there's one bad car accident or one bad Somali driver, we are all bad Somali drivers. Whereas if one white person gets into an accident, it's like John's. Kevin did it. It's John's problem. It's Katie's problem. When Bishara did it, Somali did it. It's like it's all exactly. So it's like, get your facts straight. Just because if I'm a bad driver does not mean Amran is a bad driver or Amin is a bad driver. It just means Bishara is a bad driver.
Yeah, true.
So.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to ask you one thing. As a Somalian people coming to the United States, what's our role? We are the one who come here. These people, they say you have to assimilate. You have to just, So how do you think, that, what's our side? How we can get this into this community without having difficulties? Is that means that we have to leave our culture and religion, or how you? Some people, they say you assimilate. Assimilate means leaving your religion and culture and language and everything from your culture. But what assimilate means? Because I've seen a lot of times about the people saying, Somali people, they're not assimilating to the other people.
The thing is, though, the reason why this country was founded, if you want to go trace back, it's because of freedom of religion, freedom of everything. So if this country, the foundation of it is for everybody who's from different culture, different religion, to come here, practice their religion, why do I need to assimilate? Isn't that the foundation?
The freedom of speech there?
Exactly. Isn't that why the first people came here, is to leave persecution? Yeah, they left persecution to come up here, to practice your religion freely. And yes, I speak your language. Yes, I know about your culture, but that does not mean I need to leave my culture behind. So if I assimilate, I leave my culture behind. I'm saying your culture is better than mine, and that's not right. Like, everybody has ways of dealing with their situation. Everybody has ways of doing things. It's just a matter of doing it differently. I do it my way, you do it your way. At the end of the day, we're coming into the same conclusion. At the end of the day, I go to school. At the end of the day, I'm still working. At the end of the day, I speak English. I go home, I speak Somali. I practice my religion. You go to church, I go to mosque. You do this, I do that. It's just about respecting each other's, situation, each other's religion, each other's culture. We don't all have to have the same thing.
The last question that I do want to ask you, what advice are you giving to the Somalian students who are in high schools, now, so they can finish, their education and not to interrupt, with the conflict that they have, the students. There was an article in St.Cloud Times very recently that says, the suspension from students of color, it's higher than the white students. Sometimes that's because of the misunderstanding, because of the different systematic. Oh, all right, what advice are you gonna give, those students, to do well in the school, so in the future they will can finish their high school and go to college, or what do you want to say about this suspension thing, that was in the local newspaper recently?
Okay, for me, the biggest mistake I made when I was like I was in school, like in high school. Okay, like what I did was every time like I got into it with a white person, I handled it really badly. Like I would get into it with them, I would fight with them. Seriously, ask her. I was in the office or detention all the time, getting suspended all the time. But I learned, okay, like in time, actually, I don't know. Thank God I did that. I learned this, that fighting is not the answer. I'm just gonna tell you this: if you want to graduate and you want to actually get your diploma, don't fight. It's not worth it. Like it's just gonna look bad in your record. I mean, where you're gonna just fuck. Like you're not gonna, yeah, you're gonna do bad in your school, I guess. And then just don't fight, please. Handle it better.
I think, unlike you, I handled mine differently. I'm more of a talkative of the group, and I talk a lot. And from the beginning, I knew that if I fought, that was not going to help anything. So I kind of played their game. You're gonna go to the office, so am I. You're gonna go annoy the principal, so am I. I'm gonna be at the office every single day complaining about what you're doing until something is done about it. I knew that if I fought them or if I cursed back, I knew that the odds were against me. So if I say something back or I scream back, I was the one that was gonna be in trouble, not them, even though they instigated it. So from the get-go, I learned to do that. And my advice for the students that are in the small students that are in high school right now is please, please don't let this affect you. Deal with it. Yes, go to the office. But at the end of the day, the only way you can win is by improving yourself, by bettering yourself, by making sure you go to college. Yes, it was hard. It was not the easiest thing to do when you have to do homework and then you have to deal with this. But know that at the end of the day, if you don't better yourself, you're giving them a chance. Yeah, you're giving them the chance and the excuse. They win. But then if you handle your situation at the same time, make sure your school is done and make sure you go to college and better yourself, then everything becomes, the reason why your parents came here becomes, valid, because then you win. At the end of the day, you have opportunity to change when you're a teacher or you're whatever you decide to do in college.
Plus, like if you fight, like literally, you actually agree with the stereotype, right?
Exactly.
You like add into it. That was my mistake. So
Yeah, that's how I dealt with it.
Yeah, and the education is not for them. The school, you don't go for them.
Go for yourself.
You have to know why you're there, So if you have to go and get your education, it's hard.
Yeah.
But you have to. And we did it, so.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so you can do it too. Yeah.
Just don't let all the other stuff, get into your way. See
Stay in school.
yes, have that tunnel vision. See the prize, and then focus on your prize. So your prize is to get to college, get your degree, get a good job. That's your prize. Everything else is just a distraction, and you need to turn away from distractions.
Okay, thank you very much. In the future, I hope that we will continue, this discussion, among the students. Amran, Bisharo, and Amina, thank you very much.